Hey ladies, I am so excited that you are here today because today I'm going to talk with you about something super important, and that is why you should not date a man just for chemistry. Yes, you heard me right. I can tell you from my own experiences that did not go as planned, and from the experiences of my clients, and maybe even you've experienced this, that dating for chemistry doesn't always turn out the way we hope. And that's why I want to share with you 3 reasons why you should stop dating for chemistry, and more importantly, what you should be focusing on instead. I guarantee that it will save you so much pain and time and heartbreak from dating the wrong men. And if you're new here, welcome. I'm Kimberly Anderson, an international dating and relationship expert, and I help professional women over 35 reconnect with their feminine essence so that they can find their soulmate. My content is totally free, so if you enjoy this video or you're a regular visitor but haven't hit that subscribe button yet, please go ahead and do that now. And don't forget to like this video and drop a comment below. And before we start, I have a brand new free ebook on feminine energy, and I'm super excited to share how you can unlock your feminine power in ways that might really surprise you. So be one of the first to grab your copy in the description of this video. All right, let's get into it. 3 reasons why you should not date a man for chemistry. Now, the first reason is that we attract our patterns. Now, what do I mean by this? Let me explain. Okay, we all come into our adult lives with a collection of experiences, right? We've seen how our parents interacted or didn't interact. We experience different dynamics in our relationships with our father, with our mother, and we live through our own dating experiences. Maybe as teenagers and later as adults, including marriages. Fast forward to today with you watching this video. All of those past experiences have shaped how we see the world, how you see the world, whether they're positive or they're negative, right? They programmed us to perceive relationships through that lens. And those experiences, well, they define what is familiar to us, what we feel comfortable with, what feels close to us. So let me give you an example. If when you were growing up, your father was absent a lot, didn't give you much attention, and you never really felt very loved, it's common to unconsciously enter into relationships where your partner isn't there for you and doesn't give you the attention that and the love that you're seeking. Why? Because you're unconsciously recreating the kind of relationship that's familiar to you. It's the one that you know. I personally experienced a relationship where there was tons of chemistry. I mean, the chemistry was off the charts. We were so attracted to each other that we were nearly inseparable for years. But it took me a super long time to understand that despite all the chemistry, why the relationship wasn't working. Because unknowingly, I had found someone that was almost a replica of my father, and I fell into a codependent relationship. Why? Because we attract our patterns, right? We meet a man, and it feels like love because it's what's familiar to us. But familiar doesn't necessarily mean that it's a good idea. It's just what we know, right? Okay, so life is full of lessons, and until we recognize our patterns in our own romantic lives, come to terms with them, heal from them, and then move on, we're likely to keep attracting those same old patterns. So beware of dating based on chemistry alone. And on that note, if you would love some guidance in finding your soulmate, I am super excited to share that I have just released my brand new free ebook on attracting love online. You can grab your copy by clicking the link in the description below. And in exchange, if you're enjoying this video, I would really appreciate it, if you haven't done it already, to please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and tap the little button so that you would be one of the first to see my next video. Thank you so much. All right, the second reason why you should not date a man based on chemistry is that strong chemistry is short-lived. It doesn't last forever. No relationship stays the same. They grow and evolve over time through different stages. There are several stages to any long-term romantic relationship. And while the names and the time periods of these relationships can vary depending on who you talk to, one thing everyone agrees on, and that is that the first stage, and you've probably heard of this, it's the honeymoon stage, right? The honeymoon stage or phase can last up to about 2 years, and it's where the chemistry between the man and the woman is usually off the charts. It's why it's called the honeymoon phase in the first place. It's, often where couples would think about actually getting married. So this is where you see people, as I'm sure you've seen, they get starry-eyed, they're constantly touching each other, they feel all this passion and excitement and infatuation with one another. And maybe, you felt this yourself. I certainly have. When you're so drawn to that other person, right? You overlook their flaws and you have really strong emotions that you literally is pulling you towards that other person. But here's the thing. This is the exact stage where things can either go really right or they can go really wrong. After the honeymoon phase, the relationship enters a series of stages, and it's all about facing reality. It's about where you start adjusting to each other's true selves. You learn to communicate. You learn about navigating conflicts with each other and navigating your differences. And this is where a couple either grows closer or they experience disillusionment and the couple breaks apart. And if you've ever wondered why you haven't met the right person, it could be because you've been relying on chemistry alone, or very heavily relying on chemistry without focusing on those deeper, lasting qualities that makes a relationship work. If your relationship is built solely on how amazing you feel, how steamy things are in the bedroom, but you haven't paid attention to other essential foundations of a good relationship, then this is when chemistry can quickly turn into a recipe for unhappiness, for heartbreak, and potentially a lifetime of pain. Because once that short-term chemistry wears off, you may realize that you don't have that much in common. And by that time, you may have already gotten married, or you may have started a family, right? If you've experienced this, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What happened and what did you learn from your experience? And this leads me to the third reason why you should never date for chemistry. And that is that chemistry is blinding. I mean, literally, when we fall in love and the chemistry is off the charts, we literally do not see the person for who they truly are. And we can ignore all kinds of red flags that may later come to haunt us. We actually experience chemical changes in our bodies that are, we're basically pumped with things like dopamine and cortisol, which give us this fuzzy, on top of the world feeling. Have you ever seen someone in love, or maybe you've even felt this yourself? You couldn't stop smiling. You just felt so incredible. It's like somebody could practically steal your handbag and you'd still be so happy that it wouldn't really even matter that much, right? Okay, I'm exaggerating, but still you get the point. Now, I'm not saying that this kind of chemistry is not wonderful and that we shouldn't absolutely experience and enjoy every minute of it. But what I am saying is that you need to be aware that that chemistry is simply blinding. That's why the saying goes, love is blind, right? So what I'm suggesting is that you are aware that you're going to be experiencing some pretty intense chemicals in your body, and that those chemicals don't mean that this man is the perfect life partner. It could mean so many other things. So enjoy the feelings and go with the process, but go in with your eyes wide open. Instead of jumping off a cliff with no parachute and then wondering, what the heck happened? Be aware of your patterns, that we often date men that feel familiar to us based on our past experiences. That the honeymoon phase is just that. It is a phase, and that important compatibility foundations like shared values and common life goals are what truly matter. And remember why compatibility is more important than chemistry, and that is because our bodies are literally flooded with love hormones that can cloud our judgment. All right, there's so much more that I want to share, and this video could easily go on for another hour. If you'd like more content from me, please let me know in the comments below. And if you have any questions, of course, feel free to ask. You can always find me on Instagram and TikTok. Check out the links in the video description. I would really love to have you as part of my community. Thank you for watching up until the end of this video. And as always, I am sending you lots of love.